Saltwater boat prices are dropping faster than anyone predicted. Dealers in Florida are slashing sticker prices just to move inventory. Center consoles sitting in Texas marinas that would have sold in days 2 years ago now sit for 6 months. Boats listed at $85,000 in 2023 are moving at $68,000 today. The market everyone thought would stay hot is collapsing. Year-to-date through October 2025, new powerboat sales dropped 8.7% compared to last year. Pontoons are down nearly 11%. Jet boats are down 19.9%. The numbers tell a brutal story. Why are saltwater boats suddenly cheap? What changed so dramatically that these vessels are bleeding value at rates not seen since 2008? Stick around, because the reasons behind this collapse will change how you think about coastal boat ownership forever. Saltwater boats always cost more to maintain than freshwater vessels. Salt accelerates corrosion on every metal surface. Anodes need replacing every season. Engines require flushing after each use. Trailers rust through faster. Gel coat oxidizes under constant ultraviolet and salt exposure. Electrical connections fail. These maintenance demands were always part of saltwater ownership, but buyers accepted them when boat values stayed strong. Between 2020 and 2023, saltwater boats appreciated despite the extra maintenance. A 28-foot center console purchased for $72,000 in 2020 would sell for $92,000 in 2022. Owners could justify the corrosion and maintenance costs knowing their boat was gaining value. That equation flipped completely in 2024. Now those same boats are worth $63,000. The maintenance cost did not decrease. The corrosion did not slow down. But the resale value evaporated. Buyers are walking away from saltwater boats because the math no longer works. The premium you pay for ocean capability gets destroyed by depreciation and maintenance combined. Saltwater corrosion from use in marine environments negatively affects a boat's valuation far more than freshwater wear. Marine corrosion-related repairs can cost between $1,000 and $10,000 or more, depending on the extent of damage. The salt premium became a salt penalty overnight. The pandemic created an artificial surge in coastal boat demand. Between 2020 and 2022, boat manufacturers increased production by 38%. By late 2023, dealers had more inventory than they could sell. A glut of unsold inventory put crushing pressure on dealers to lower prices. Buyers who ordered boats in 2021 received delivery notices in late 2024. Their financial situations had changed completely. Dealers started discounting aggressively. A 32-foot offshore boat with an MSRP of $175,000 started appearing at $152,000, then $142,000. Some dealers moved boats at $134,000 just to clear floor plan debt. Once the discounting started, it fed on itself. Buyers who saw 12% discounts decided to wait for 15%. Those waiting for 15% held out for 20%. The market spiraled downward as everyone anticipated cheaper prices next month. New powerboat retail unit sales fell 9.7% year-to-date through June 2025 compared to the same period in 2024. The volume drop, combined with aggressive pricing, created a buyer's market. Sellers lost all pricing power. Saltwater boats depreciate faster because corrosion damage compounds over time. A freshwater boat with 200 engine hours might look nearly new after 3 years. A saltwater boat with identical hours shows visible wear everywhere. Paint fades from ultraviolet exposure and salt. Metal hardware develops rust. Seat cushions show mildew faster. Overall, saltwater boats lose value more quickly because corrosion and wear accumulate. A pontoon on a lake might lose 8% in value each year. That same pontoon exposed to saltwater can lose 12 to 15% per year. Insurance companies raised premiums dramatically. Policies that covered $2,300 per year jumped to $4,100 in hurricane-prone areas. The insurance industry sustained losses for 5 consecutive years, and reinsurance costs jumped 37%. Hurricane deductibles became standard, ranging from 2% to 10% of insured value. Some insurers stopped offering saltwater coverage in Florida and Louisiana. A Florida buyer now pays $4,200 per year for insurance that cost $2,100 in 2022. Marina costs exploded alongside insurance. Coastal slip fees rose 20 to 30%. A slip that rented for $550 per month now costs $750. Fuel prices remained volatile, with offshore trips costing 35 to 40% more. When you combine insurance, slip fees, fuel, and maintenance, ownership costs increased 50 to 60% in 3 years, while boats lost 15 to 20% of value. Real buyers are feeling the pain. Consider a Texas family who bought a 27-foot bay boat in 2022 for $79,000. They finance $67,000 at 5.5% interest. By 2025, their insurance doubled to $3,600 annually. Their slip fee increased from $425 to $625 per month. Their total monthly boat cost went from $1,050 to $1,790. They listed the boat for sale at $62,000. After 6 months, it sold for $54,500. After paying off the loan, they lost $16,000 on a boat they owned for 3 years. Or take a California offshore fisherman who ordered a 31-foot center console in early 2023. The agreed price was $137,000. He put down $23,000. When delivery arrived in late 2024, his financing rate came back at 11% instead of the expected 6%. His insurance quote was $5,100 instead of $2,700. His payment jumped from $870 to $1,420 monthly. Adding insurance, slip fees, and fuel, his total monthly cost hit $2,540. He walked away and lost his $23,000 deposit. The saltwater boat collapse is hitting specific categories harder than others. Entry-level center consoles under $55,000 saw the steepest drops. Segment-level data reveals broad softness, with notable year-over-year declines in sales of new pontoons down 19.5%, jet boats down 19.9%, and wake sport boats down 14.3%. Mid-market offshore boats from brands like Grady White and Boston Whaler held value better but still dropped 10 to 15% from peak. Bay boats and flats boats held value best because owners have lower operating costs. These boats run in calmer water and face less corrosion. Freshwater fishing boats held steady with 2023 sales. But even bay boats dropped 7 to 12% from peak prices. Coastal economies are suffering. Marinas report 30% drops in new slip contracts. Marine mechanics who are booked solid now have open schedules. Tackle shops and marine supply stores report revenue. Declines of 20 to 35%. Boat transport companies report contract volumes down 39%. The saltwater boat market faces 2 possible futures. The first is stabilization. Interest rates drop below 7%. Insurance companies stop raising premiums. Dealers clear aged inventory. NMMA estimates total new powerboat sales in 2025 declined 8 to 10%. The second path is continued collapse. Interest rates stay elevated. Another major hurricane season drives insurance higher. More insurers exit the market. Values drop another 12 to 18%. Track these signals. Monitor marine loan rates. If rates drop below 7%, financing pressure eases. Watch dealer inventory levels. If boats sit on lots fewer than 120 days, demand is returning. Track insurance premiums in coastal states. Check marina occupancy rates. If slips fill back to 80% capacity, buyers are committing. Watch manufacturer production cuts. Right now, most indicators point toward continued pain through at least mid-2026. Rates remain elevated above 9%. Insurance keeps climbing with hurricane deductibles reaching 5 to 10% of hull value. Year to date, January through October 2025, new retail powerboat unit sales decreased by 8.7% from the same period last year. Picture a coastal marina at dawn. Rows of center consoles sit silent at their slips. Some will fish offshore today, with owners who can still afford the insurance and fuel costs. Others will sit untouched for months, their owners unable to make the payments. The saltwater boat market built itself on the dream of offshore freedom, but that dream became unaffordable for hundreds of thousands of buyers in just 3 years. The question is not whether the market recovers. It will. Markets always do. The question is how many dealers, manufacturers, and boat owners survive the correction before it does. If this breakdown helped you understand what is really happening in the saltwater boat market, hit subscribe.